predictions.
Oh, shut up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another professional episode of the Reading FC podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. Just before we get into it, I want to do a quick note. If you guys haven't already, go and listen to A.D. Williams' interview with Liam Moore. It's the most open I have seen a Reading player be about Paunovic, about the owners, about the whole situation of his transfer. When he handed in the transfer request, everything that sort of has gone on, he spoke about. And it's brilliant to go and listen to, so please go and give that a listen. But before we do any of that, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want instant notification for when we go live. Don't forget as well, we have a new Discord channel, which we talk in there with Reading fans. We talk WWE, NFL, all the things that we do on this podcast, plus much, much more. We are on there doing it, as well as all the links to everyone that does come on the podcast or is a part of the podcast. Their links are down below. So go and give them a follow and go and make sure that you catch up with everything that they're talking about. And don't forget to follow us on Soundcloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Thank you very much for the celebration, Ryan, in the top left corner, and he's gone. So we've got a lot to discuss as we have been away a little while due to, I'll be very, very honest, my mental health. It has deteriorated quite a lot actually, over the past week, but I am back, sort of. Haven't done it for a week, and I've got the itch of now. I have a pent up rants, or as Ryan likes to call it, rants. I have a lot pent up, so we are back, and we're going to be having a lot more fun. And Adam is here today as well as his normal monthly schedule, where he comes on, discuss about what he thinks, and we will do our predictions for the next 6.
We get to do it a bit earlier too, because it's half term.
Yeah.
The audacity of Baldylocks over there to say it's half term is a disgrace. It's a study week or it's a reading week. Pick whatever you want, whatever tickles your pickle, pick it. But don't come at me saying half term. You make me sound like I'm about 5.
I'm sorry, it just reminded me, Ryan yesterday texted me going, when you introduce Ryan, at some point one of us has to say it's Adam's half term.
The audacity.
Right, let's get into it. We're going to go on to some of the... He's showing it, if you guys are listening, he's showing it to the screen of him saying that, to text me to say about half term.
8 o'clock last night.
Right, we've got some talking points, and we've got some interesting debate. I think we're probably going to have at one point about individual, but that will be coming on in a certain minutes. But the first news that happened since the last time we've done a proper podcast is Juventus are interested in signing Thomas Esteves after his loan spell from Reading when he goes back to Porto. It looks like he's going to be a backup, or obviously a backup, but Pirlo is apparently interested from at Tuto Makuto Web. They're verified. We checked them. I checked them before I did anything. I was making sure they're verified. They're not just some teenage boy with pubic issues that just wanted to throw something out there. What do you guys think about that rumor? Do you think he could add something to? Has he got the potential to be a world-class right back? Where do you think Esteves is now, and where do you think he could be?
He's some way off it, but you don't win. You don't get nominated for the Golden Boy Award for no reason, for one. And also, is he 18 or 19 at the moment?
Oh, Google.
I think he's still 18.
Yeah, I think so.
So let's be fair. At the top of the game, like he's not going to reach that level for another sort of 5, 6 years. But his peak. But in terms of like a football career, he's got another 15 years at least in front.
He's 18.
I think that's what a lot of people forget as well when they criticise him, which of course they're entitled to do. The football's a game of opinions, but I think people are forgetting that the guy's 18. He's never played Championship football before, well, before this season anyway.
He's never played first team football.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people kind of forget in a way. And I think his performance against Bristol City, even though it wasn't absolutely spectacular, shows why he'll be a really good player because of the positions he was getting himself in and the license he had to run forward. And I thought he did very well, actually.
Is he a right back or is he a wing back?
I think he's a right back, but I think he's got a bit of versatility about him where he can play anywhere down the right. Because I think he's, well, for one, we've seen it on YouTube, the compilations, he's capable of going forward. We also saw it against Bristol City in the week. There was another game earlier in the season where he played at right wing as well, and I think he's not done too badly on the wing either time. It's also reassuring to, if you look at our right side, if we had Estevez playing in front of either Holmes or Yeardom, you'd be confident that they're not going to get much down our right-hand side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
going to go on to Yeardom. He's come into some criticism over some of the performances he's done. Do you think that's lack of confidence? Is that a lack of playtime? Is that a lack of match fitness? He's come into some criticism from fans saying that Holmes should be ahead of him. Where do you guys sit on this?
I think it's a mixture of all three, to be honest.
So I think on Tuesday, when we're playing Bristol City, I think Holmes played too well on Saturday to not start again on Tuesday. I think that for me, if a player plays too well not to start the next game, I don't think there's any reason why they shouldn't start the next game. So I was surprised, and I said in the group chat, the only change that I would have made from Tuesday was Holmes over Yeardom. But fair play to Yeardom because he did very well, actually, I think. Provides, I think, a lot more than Holmes going forward, you have to admit. But I'm not sure I really understand the criticism to an extent because he's only just coming back to match fitness. Yes, we conceded 2 goals whilst he was on the pitch against Millwall in half an hour. But he's only just coming back to fitness after quite a while out. And I think I've been impressed with some of his close control, and I don't know. I don't really get a lot of the criticism of him. But again, football's a game of opinions. But no, I've been satisfied with Yeardom. Nothing bad to report about him.
Yeah, just about the change that you said then as well. I personally think it was more tactical than anything. I think you'd look at Bristol City in their form, because I don't know if you've looked into it at all, but they have been awful.
Awful.
Yeah, and obviously sacked their manager after the game. But I think Paunovic would have looked at their form and been, well, they're not causing much of an attacking threat.
Well, talking of form, just before you get into it, Bristol City are in the bottom 3 of the league in the previous 6 fixtures, having won 1, lost 5, have a -11 goal difference at this moment. I presume that hasn't helped by the 6-0 battering that they got from Watford. I think it was Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so their form. But at the same time, if you look below them, the 2 other teams below them are Huddersfield and Birmingham.
Yeah. And so I think that Paunovic would have looked at their form, potentially even looked at their game against Watford at the weekend and said, well, they're not much of an attacking threat at the moment. And we should have McIntyre, Morrison and Richards started left back, didn't we?
Yeah, Richards at left back. I went with Richards actually at left back.
Yeah.
Purely because he offers more going forward. But I thought Gibson actually played all right on Saturday. Just really the same as Holmes. But I don't know, I thought Richards would give us something. He would give us a bit of width that Ovi doesn't really give us a lot, to be honest. But I went with Richards, but I also went with Holmes on the right-hand side.
Talking of Richards, this goes into my point. Ryan, we'll get back to your point in 2 seconds. Goes into my point. According to Football Insider 24/7, Omar Richards has agreed a 3-year deal with Bayern Munich.
Adrian Holmes says otherwise.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of people saying he's going out there just to sit on the bench for 3 years. He's not going to get any play time. What do you think about Richards and this opportunity he's got?
Once in a lifetime.
Sorry.
Once in a lifetime. If I had to sum it up in a few words, even though I think it might be better for his career, perhaps, to stay at Reading with the Championship and its reputation and the standard of football. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, so I can't begrudge him that.
That's where I disagree with you. I don't think it's a good idea for him to stay here. I don't think so. My opinion.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, I think, is if you want to grow and I agree with you that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. But if there's anyone that has the determination, that has the fight, and has, let's say, the upset of proving people wrong, it's definitely him. I think he's going there he's not going there to be someone to be Alphonso Davies's backup. I think he's going there to challenge Alphonso Davies, not only to keep him fit, but to challenge him to be in there. I don't see him going there to be...
I disagree with that. I disagree with that because I think Alphonso Davies is so much better.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying my opinion, Alphonso Davies is the best left back in the world. My opinion, he is. But in his mentality and his determination, in his brain, he's not thinking, I'm going there just to sit on the bench. He's going there to not only to challenge or give Alphonso Davies a challenge that he probably needs, but he's going there to also at the same time might be able to. Bayern Munich are very good at rotating and staying the same. So going and rotation in the Bundesliga, the cup games, Champions League, if they're already through, I can see him make an appearance in that. If you've got Champions League football offered to you as well, you're not going to turn that down. I think for his career, this is the best option for him, my personal opinion.
I'm sort of drawn between the two because I do agree with both of you in the sense that it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. However, I don't think he will get played at all. Oh,
he will get played because Bayern Munich are very good at rotating. And they're very good at giving breaks to players when it's too over the top. And they look like they're on the form. And they've also got the Club World Championship. I think they just won. That they've got as well. They've got the fixture pile up is going to be a lot more as well. So there's going to be a lot more opportunities if he goes now than there would be.
Going to what Adam said, I agree with him in the sense that I think if he was to sign a new contract, have 2 more seasons here, 3 more seasons here, then I think he'll be attracting top English clubs and he'd get a lot more game time there than he would at Bayern Munich.
I think it's one of those opportunities.
There's one thing that I want to say that makes the Richards move to Bayern all worth it for him. If you're in the shoes of Omar Richards and you're walking in the Bayern Munich dressing room, to see your name and your number on that iconic shirt and it not being a replica, I think that makes it all worth it for me.
And to even just play, even if you play 1 or 2 games, you're getting that experience of being with world-class players and you're learning and you're going to be
getting pictures of world-class players.
And you're going to sit down in a dressing room and opposite you is going to be Lewandowski, Müller, then you'll have Leroy Sané, you're going to have Gnabry, and then also at the same time, you're going to have Kimmich, and then at the back, you're going to have Boateng there as well. You're going to have loads of players around you that even if you're not playing, and you're going to play here and there and do things, but the experience and the learning and just asking questions and just listening is going to be 30 times more better than if he stays here, in my opinion.
I also kind of disagree with that because I think he's at the age where the best way for him to learn and potentially the only way is match experience.
Yeah. No, I agree with both. I'm happy for him if he goes. I'll be happy for him if he stays. It's one of those situations.
Yeah, no, exactly that.
It's very
exactly
hard. Talking of someone with a situation that's unlucky, John Swift is apparently out for 6 weeks per Ollie Sorrell LDR. He has said that he's had terrible luck with injuries. He's out for another 6 weeks. What are you making of John Swift? Is it terrible luck of injuries? Is it luck, or is he not? Or is he not learning?
He's always had a history of having injuries. I think the one thing that I would say is that I don't agree with fans, if there have been any, with fans turning on him just because of his injuries. I think he will be just as frustrated as we will be. And
do you not get the point where fans are sick and tired of seeing him on the injury list?
I get that totally, but he'll be just as frustrated. And I don't think it's unlucky with him. I think he gets injured a lot. It's like Lucas Jlow. He gets
kind
injured
of what
a
you're
lot.
saying there, Adam. I don't think there's a player in the world that's going to think, I'm happy to not play because I'm injured.
Mm.
No one wants that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I get that, but I just don't agree with fans kind of, if they have turning on him just because he's injured. I'm sure he'll want to be out there and playing, but I don't think it's luck. I think he's had a long history of injuries, and
okay. So who do we blame this on?
In the Premier League.
Okay, who do we blame this on? Do we blame this on physios for not looking after him? Are we blame this on John Swift not learning from mistakes that he's done before? Who is responsible for the injuries, the injury pile up at Reading, and certain players that are very well known for injuries still not learning? Who takes the blame for this?
I don't really think you can blame anyone for it. Like, it does kind of come down to luck at the end of the day.
But does it come down to a point of that? If it's the same injury or the same thing, like with Swift, it's always his knee or it's always the leg. It is never nothing else. It's always that area. Is there something that he needs to go, I can't do that thing anymore. I need to do. Does he need to change the program of what he's doing to compatible towards him?
I'm going to take exactly what you said there and kind of flip it to another angle.
Mm-hmm.
What if he's saying, right, I've got that problem, but I'm still going to put 110% in every single game. And if it happens, it happens, but I'm going to give it my all.
I guess so, but I mean, you look at Michael Owen and
but the issue with Michael Owen is they rushed him back even when he was still injured, and that just rippled on throughout his career.
I guess so, but would you say that's luck with him? That
was poor management by the Liverpool Academy. And that's been openly admitted by far, because I think if when you go back to that injury, was he always had a hamstring injury and said, no, I don't feel 100%. But because he was so reliable and they needed him so much, the Liverpool Academy and the Liverpool first team, that they tried everything to rush him back as quickly. And you can see what happened at the end of his career. It affected everything after after Real Madrid or during the Real Madrid stay. It just affected everything else after that.
To be fair, I mean, we do have a few players that seem to be chronically injured. So I don't think that the medical staff can do that much. They must be trying different things. But over the years, not just this season, I thought we'd kind of half got over it last season. But over the past few years, we seem to be hampered by injuries every single year. Even though we had a lot of squad depth in previous years, we seem to be hampered every single season without fail.
Yeah,
what is going on? We need answers.
Yeah, I think another reason we're seeing it more this season is last few years when players have been out injured, they've been spread out. Whereas like this year, what was it? November? Was it December? Start of December? We were missing 8 first team players all at the same time.
I would understand it if it was just this season because of the compact fixture list with COVID. Yeah. But it's been over the past few seasons, and
it's been a few. I can't remember the last time where we've gone a full season with a fit team. I can't remember. Maybe the last time we were in the Premier League, maybe. or under Yap Stam maybe was the last time I think we had a fully fit team. I can't, that makes no sense to me. But let's go on to something that doesn't make sense. Lovely little segue there. Jonathan Lowe. Oh dear. Let's see if we can do this in a nice debatey way. Tweeted out yesterday that Ejaria Elise both square, and this is a screenshot of the tweet I've got here. I'm not just making this up. This is a screenshot. So according to Jonathan Lowe, Ejaria and Elise both squared up to the manager in the second half against Bristol. Liam Moore, Bristol City, sorry. Liam Moore has then come out and criticised, saying, you're not doing your job right. That's not what happened. Complete utter rubbish. He didn't say those exact words, but I haven't got the screenshot of what he said. So that is basically the line. This isn't the first time that Jonathan Lowe's done this, and he has been called out a number of times before. Chris Gunter did it to him in 2019 and called Jonathan Lowe out. And Yaku Mete also did it to him in 2019 as well, saying lack of professionalism in what he's done. What have you made of Jonathan Lowe, of the comments that he made? He also come out afterwards and did a 3-page Twitter page. I say like that because it's not an actual A4 page, it's the Twitter characters. Apologising.
360 character tweet.
Yeah. Saying that there was an incident, but he worded it wrong. But he apologised. What have you guys made of this situation?
Ryan, you go first, and then I'll put my. I've not really paying much attention to it, to be honest.
Okay, so I'm gonna. That's
the thing for me. I don't.
Okay, so this is my opinion on it, and I'm going to be very brutal, and I don't care. I think it's time for him not to do anything with Reading anymore. When 3 separate players come and criticise you at doing something, you are meant to be the face of someone that we, as fans, who are not allowed to be at stadiums, who are not allowed to go behind the scenes because of a paper that he works for, has done an article many, many years ago criticising John Badesky and the club, which then barred them from doing anything. That was a Chronicle. Different. Oh, okay. Well, there was a Reading paper then, which the other one that he does, but there was a Reading paper in general that made an article about John Badesky, and it all went wrong, and he barred them. Not only that, he hasn't done anything credible at all since Courtney and Eddie have turned up. He hasn't done anything breaking news-wise, which that's who he was, someone that would inform us of if there was an injury, if there was someone coming in, if there was a manager, if there was something going on. He hasn't done anything credible in the space of 2-3 years, shall we say. I don't understand how this man is allowed to still go to Reading games and certain people like Courtney are not allowed, who actually just tell you straight facts of what's going on and there's no BS behind it. I've had him on the podcast, and thank you ever so much for coming on. And it was an interesting interview. I will say that it was interesting. But I feel like it's time now that we need to. I think him being called out was the best thing to happen because he's got away with so much, and he will keep getting away with it because there's no one else that will say anything. And that's my opinion on it. I don't think he should be allowed to go to Reading games anymore. I don't think he should be allowed to do it. I think he's completely out of his depth with doing anything Reading. And that's been going, and that's just proved by the 3 years of doing fuck all. And when other people tweet stuff, you get him going, oh yes, due to my sources, I can confirm. You haven't got any sources. Your sources are what Eddie and Courtney say. And then you just go, and then, what do you mean, oh, come on? It's blatantly fucking obvious. No, anytime Courtney and Reading have done breaking news, you give it 20 minutes and you look through the history and he tweets out going, yes, I can confirm. You can't confirm because the other people have said it. So you haven't done anything credible. So why are we meant to believe what he says? When he's meant to be the face of Reading and us, he's meant to be someone that we all meant to look for and do anything, and he's not even doing anything credible.
He has sources because of the.
He hasn't got any sources. His sources are Courtney and Eddie. Tell me a time when he's
So he
actually
told-
done a source before them two have done anything.
Lauren, Virginia, injuries.
Courtney already said that in the summer before. Injury doesn't
Lauren-
really count because everyone fucking knows that Reading always get
Lauren,
injuries.
no, he was first with Lauren.
All right. So he's done one good thing in about 4 years.
First with Virginia.
Well, that
First
works
with
out well for
injury.
him.
First
So
with
Virginia
injury.
was what, a year ago? Over a year ago? And he's done two things in the space of a year and a half.
I can't remember everything that he's.
No, I'm just saying, stating facts here. He's done fuck all in a year and a half, 3 years since he's been in
He's
charge.
reported a lot of things first. He has reported a lot of things first.
Yes.
You've got to give him that. And
No,
you've
you
got to
haven't.
say he does have sources. He
No,
does
you
have
haven't,
sources because of Lauren, because of Virginia, because of injuries. You can tell he has sources. Look, that article was a symptom of the whole industry and the digital model in itself. Because I'm not sure if this applies to Jlow, but Reach, as far as I'm aware, certainly in the regionals anyway. And I saw an article from a man called Mark Reeves from the West Midlands titles. He's in charge of the West Midlands titles of Reach, and they have targets to meet. They have KPIs, right? And it's just like any other job.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to reach a certain number of page views, right? So obviously you're going to have to, in a way, twist headlines to an extent. And it's not what we want to see, but I'm sure in my heart of hearts, I know that Jonathan, if given the funds and the time and being set free from the shackles of targets, if he does have them or something like that, and being set free from those shackles, he would produce absolute bangers, but he hasn't got the time and money to do it because of the digital model.
Hold on. No. You can't. We all know that the papers have to put things out there for you to read it. We all know that. But when you get over exaggerated and you don't tell the truth, which obviously he hasn't, because he's been called out on number of separate. If he was called out once, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I could tell you that. This conversation would last probably about 5 minutes. Me calling it bullshit, and then that would be the end of it. But he's been called out on a number of different occasions for over-exaggerating or making up stories just for clicks, right? On this podcast, we have to, right, over-exaggerate the headline for people to watch it. Or I will just do a simple roundup of what we do. That's what you do. You do clickbait headlines. I get that. And I get clickbait headlines and I understand that. And we wouldn't be having this discussion because of that. But when you're bullshitting and you get called out on 3 separate occasions and you haven't done anything as he's meant to be, and let's be honest here, he's meant to be Mr. Redden. He's meant to be the one that everyone goes to because of the amount of things he does for the club. He goes to the interviews, he goes to speak to the players, he goes to all of the games, home and away, and pre-season, I think sometimes, and mostly pre-season as well, where he will go to them and report on it. But when you get called out for talking bullshit on a number of different occasions, and let's be honest, his stature from what we all look at him has gone dramatically down from, let's say, about a year or so ago, has dramatically gone down because of the lack of crap that he does. He doesn't do much. He just always says, yes, I can confirm, and he hasn't done anything sort of credible. Then you're going to get to a point now where if you do shitty articles like this, you're going to be talked about.
I think that's very harsh. I do think it's harsh.
No, I could have been a lot more harsher, but I've had to really dial it back because I've vented already. I've vented before we come on here.
Answer me this with the same perhaps performance indicators or targets or anything like that. They bring in a new person. Would anything really change? I think Jonathan, I'm not just saying this to upset people, but I think he's the best person for the job. I really do, because he's built he admitted yesterday that he fell short, but overall, out of however many articles that he's done, he seems to be all right with the players. A lot of players follow him on Twitter and that sort of thing. And as I said, it's a symptom of the whole journalism kind of industry in general. I really do.
See, I don't take that because we all know, and we all expect newspapers and journalists to over-exaggerate everything. We get that. We understand that. That's what we're brought up with. That's what we know. And that's what we understand. We know that the way that you're going to get people to read your article or to listen to what you're saying is by a clickbait headline. We know that. Everyone does that. But when you're bullshitting and you don't do anything credible, then you're going to start being called out on it. And that's the thing. When you start getting players at the club, especially people that are in that situation, doing it and calling you out on a number of different occasions. I haven't seen one person call out Eddie for anything he said. I haven't seen one player call out Courtney for anything he said. I haven't seen anything call out Matt Joy for anything he said. Jonathan Lowe has been called out more than anyone for the clickbait, not even clickbait, the bullshit headlines he has produced. And you can't disagree with that because that's facts. If we're talking facts, that's facts.
For this particular case, in terms of squaring up, look, I didn't see it. I didn't see the squaring up. And a lot of people said they didn't square up. And he's apologised for that now. And he said he fell short, which fair play to him for coming out and doing that. In terms of like saying that he's done nothing over the past few years, that's subjective. I think he has done quite a bit for Reading over the past few years in terms of the content. And I think, but the thing is, if he doesn't meet his, say, if he does have targets, if he doesn't meet targets or whatever, and if loads of perhaps journalists at the Reach don't meet their targets, they're going to go down. Reach as a whole company, right? And they operate the Express and everything like that as well. Do you know, last summer, do you know what percentage of staff that Reach actually cut? They cut 12% of their staff in the summer because of falling demand for advertising in their titles. So the advertising spend for COVID, right, on an actual online adverts, right, the spending by businesses on adverts that pop up when you read the articles, apparently that spend is going to fall by about 11 to 16%, and that's going to absolutely cripple publishers. So what we need to do to kind of help Jonathan and help all the others, all other people who operate this model, is to read their content, is to keep reading their content. I think that's the one thing that we need to do, is to support our local media in this time, because whilst the content is free, we need to keep on supporting them. And it only takes a couple of minutes out of your day to read one of his articles. And then if the page views go up for his section, because I'm sure there'll be people, for social media people, watching specifically his section, if the traffic for him goes up, then he won't have to kind of do the kind of clickbaity stuff that people say that he does. Now, I just really sympathise with Jonathan. I really do. And look, you said about something about him not doing credible over the past couple of years. I think that's subjective. You know, I think he's done quite a bit. I think that the part on him taking kind of content and kind of rewording it, reshaping it and publishing it, that's a practice called aggregation. And to be honest, not just in journalism, but the whole industry in general, I think that accounts for about 90 to 95% of all of it, to be honest. I really do. Because time and money is absolutely critical when adopting this digital model. And if you're not getting the page views, especially with advertising spend going down and it's crippling publishers, then institutions as a whole are going to go down. 245 or over that local newspapers have shut since 2005, and it's due to this digital model that a lot of people have put in place for them, and it's not working for a lot of them now, to be honest. And as well for Reach, I think they control the print operations of the Express, Mirror, and that. And with coronavirus, sales have absolutely nosedived. So they're needing to overcompensate with that, with the digital model and the online stuff that people read.
I completely get what you're saying, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just going to say about what I did notice in Bristol City game. I don't know if it is the incident that was being spoke about, but I did see when Elise got subbed off. It was like the 88th minute anyway. But he did look very, very pissed off. He didn't like kick out or anything like we saw against Birmingham when he went up the stairs and kicked the concourse. But he walked off the pitch, sort of pushed someone's hand away, and looked pissed off in his face. Again, I don't know if that is what was being spoke about.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things I want to take that comment and I want to run with what I listened to.
I'm just going to say, as for Ajaria, I didn't see any. I didn't even notice anything happened. So
I want to take those comments of what you said, Ryan, and I'm going to say what Liam Moore. If you haven't gone and listened to the AD Williams podcast, please go and listen to it. Basically, what he said is one of the things that he feels like Jlow and some of the players need to learn today is to take criticism and take the substitutions and just deal with it. He said that what he found he goes with Jlow, he could be one of the best players to play in the Premier League, and he can do that if he keeps his frustration down. Where he gets frustrated, he then becomes a bit of a wandering soul. And he has said that on the podcast. He was very open and honest, and I completely agree with that. I think it's the same with every young player, especially with Elise. It's the same thing. You're going to be unhappy with substitute. Love to see it. You want to stay out there, play 90 minutes every time. Good on you. Go for it. I can smash it. Couldn't care. Go for it. Okay.
On the other hand, though,
if you're getting substitute, take it with a pinch of salt that either you're being rested and you're going to be playing in the future. He's not dropping you and taking you straight out to the under-18s where you have to rebuild yourself again. He's doing it for a reason. There is a reason why these players are substituted. And with what I'm hearing and what I've heard from Liam Moore today, that headline about what Jonathan Lowe said is the biggest bullshit ever. By the way that Paunovic has and if you listen to it, he completely shits on Mark Bowen, by the way. I mean, without saying the name, he completely shits on Bowen. But the way that he changes the dressing room, the way that he's changed the atmosphere, everything about it, how he's criticising players and telling them, saying, look, you didn't play well, but this is what we're going to do to improve that. And players go, yeah, okay, I get that. There's more understanding. So I feel like if Liam Moore didn't do that interview today, I think I would have believed that article a little bit more. But what I've heard today and what I'm doing is how honest Liam Moore was. There seemed to be no Reading FC spokesperson next to him. So he was allowed to do what he needed to do and was allowed to say what he wanted to say. And that's why I don't believe that headline whatsoever.
One more thing I have to consider. So the article itself could have had an impact on Paunovic, Elise and Ajaria, the subjects of the article. And it could have had a mental impact, okay? Fair enough. And that's the one criticism that I can take from it. Jonathan Lowe's now apologised. And for anyone who's now abusing Jonathan or did abuse him, you can hold him to account by all means and say, look, Jonathan, why have you done this, this and that? Okay, why have you done this? Why is the headline like that? And I totally get that. Anyone abusing him, grow up, completely grow up. You're just as bad as you're claiming Jonathan to be. And from now on, it's done. The situation's done. It's dusted. Continue to support Jonathan now. Read his articles. Because if he did go, customer's king, right? If say thousands of people read his articles, right? That's him that's going to stay in the job, right? Because he's meeting what he kind of needs to. So if you keep on reading his content, he'll be in place, right? And if he did go, perhaps, I don't know, if Reach decide to, I don't want to comment on someone else's future at a company, but speculating, if Reach decided to say cut another 12% of people and he's the one that goes, people are going to really miss him for providing that different kind of angle in a way to Matt Joy, to Courtney Friday, to Oliver Cyril, and to them type of people. And the one thing that I would say, and I'm going to give you a bit of gatekeeping theory now, which I never thought I'd do. American law and policy says that more media outlets are better than a few to cover the different kind of angles of an event. So we need that person, like Jonathan, as an extra person to hold the club to account, right? So read his content. If there's stuff that you're not liking, then give him some feedback on it and say, look, Jonathan, I didn't like this, this and that. And he's a reasonable person, Jonathan, and he'll take it and he'll he'll completely listen to his to the comments, because I'm absolutely 100% sure he really appreciates his followers, because we're quite a small band, but a focused band of followers on Twitter. So I'm sure he appreciates all of us. So yeah, keep on continuing supporting him. Don't personally abuse him. He's a human, just like.
Look, we do this platform. We do this platform to say how we feel, and we read what people put on the internet, and we put it across on here and have an open discussion. When I tweeted yesterday and said, look, I never abused him at all. I just pointed out, look, this is not the first time that a player's called him out on it. Let's be honest. There's also, let's not be honest, that he is not where he should be, and he's not creating the content. He's not at the standard where he needs to be at. He's nowhere near that. He's nowhere near where he needs to be doing it. And let's be honest, I watch a lot of American sports, and how they report, they know the inside of when someone's moving. They know your contract before anyone else. They know how much money you're going to be earning, and they know your ins and outs of your life and your family and your gran and your dog before anyone else does. I don't expect him to do that. The American law is completely and utterly more intrusive in your life than anyone else. All we expect is just, we can't go to games. I feel, right, and I'm going to be, this is sort of moving on from the subject, but staying on it in a certain way. I feel so much disconnected myself from the club that I have done since before McDermott's second reign, right? I fell out of football around about then, where I didn't enjoy it anymore. I'm getting to the point now where I'm not enjoying it at all. Normally, in a game like last year, there was a certain player I loved. There was a certain players that I really enjoyed. This season, and there was players I hated. But this season, I haven't fallen in love with anyone, and I haven't not liked anyone. I haven't felt that connection to the club.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah, go on.
I'll let you finish, but I'll ask a question about that.
Yeah. I haven't felt connected to the club. I don't know how long. It feels, I don't feel that certain, oh, I love you and I will back you to the moon, like with anyone. I don't feel that. And that's one of the things why I think it should be called out on Jonathan Lowe, is because I can't go to games and I fucking hate it. And it's the worst thing ever. And I expect when Jonathan Lowe goes to games to report on things that we can't see, because he can see everything. If we're at the games and he reports something wrong, we can all go, bullshit, I was there, I saw that, you're lying. But we can't say that. We can't call bullshit unless a player does. Because a player, Liam Moore was there on the bench and he saw everything, what was going on and what was happening. So that's the thing that needs to be called out on. Yeah, sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, can I just say something just before you, I'll let you answer. The word squared up, yeah, I didn't 100% agree with that, and I think that's the phrase in the headline that he's apologised for, because he feels like he's over sensationalised it, and I think that's the common consensus. Now, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything like that, but taking Liam Moore's example, Liam Moore's tweet as an example, right? You're either really in online football journalism or you're not. So it's easy for me to say different things and to defend him, because it's so ironic that I've done an 8,000 word dissertation exactly on the subject in ethics. And I think you either know online football journalism to a real deep extent or you don't. And I can totally understand why people reacted the way that they did, like Liam Moore, because those are two players that Jonathan Lowe was talking about, like Ajari and Elise. And I think you're either in online football journalism or you're not. And if you are in online football journalism, you understand the operations behind it and why he did that.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm not saying you're right. I am saying you're right because I completely agree with you. But at the same time, I think Liam Moore has been through enough with abuse from the fans, from different people, criticism, all that, where he knows when certain things are over-exaggerated to a point of you're clicking it. Like, he doesn't say things without a meaning behind it. And he never really says anything on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that anyway. But when he says something, it's something that's really hit him to a point where I can't sit back on this. I can't not do anything. I have to say something on it. We
Really,
talked,
yeah.
we talked quite a lot, but before we go on, Ryan.
Yeah. So you say about feeling disconnected from a club. Another way of like another angle of it, could that be from the club itself?
I think it's both.
Example being earlier in the season when we knew we was getting a new manager in, that was all but confirmed. The club decided to lead the journalists down a different route.
Multiple.
Yeah. They basically said, look, this guy's our new manager, whilst it's actually somebody over there. Okay, we was along the right lines a lot of the time, but who was it? Yeah. Who was it that we thought it was all?
I can't remember, but he's now the Partizan manager, isn't he? I think he's gone back to
Rubin Kazan, wasn't it?
Was it? No, I thought he went back to Serbia.
Yeah, but he made his name at Rubin Kazan in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for Jonathan Lowe and Courtney and maybe Matt Joy. I'm not sure who else was led down the garden path, but they were sold an absolute dummy by the club.
Yeah. So could that come from the club itself?
Like... I think it comes from both ends. I think they both don't help each other.
Okay, but on another hand, if something's come from the club, why should then Jlow, Courtney, Matt Joy, why should they say, well, actually, no, we don't think you're right?
What do you mean by that?
The horrible thing is, because in the past few years, especially, there's been a culture in the UK, especially with journalism in general, that the UK and football and clubs are a closed shop, right? And you could tell that over the past few years, especially when Gourlay came in, you could tell that Reading was a closed shop. Now, over in America, I saw an article on this.
Fucking open.
You can basically, from what I heard from this Spectator article, you can basically walk into an American football like dressing room or locker room, as they call it, and interview a player, and there's easy access.
So after any game in the NBA, all journalists will go in at the same time, and they will surround a player of their choice, whoever got the best game, and they will surround him, and then they will ask questions there and then, once he's dressed, right? So in the NFL, as soon as you come off the pitch, you will go straight to do an interview. And then once you're in the locker room, you will then get told to do radio interviews within minutes of being in there. So the culture and everything in the US is open book. So the fans understand what's going on. There's no disconnect from fans. Like over in the US, I'll give you the perfect example, okay? Perfect example. So over in the US, Tampa Bay just won the Super Bowl under Tom Brady and Gronkowski. No one knows who the Tampa Bay owners are, apart from select people. The owners of the Tampa Bay are the Glaziers, the ones that own Man United, right? The Glaziers are ruined in the UK by Man United, saying that they don't spend money, they don't do anything, they're not doing anything. In the US, they're hailed because they brought in Tom Brady and they paid him 28 million yearly contract. They brought in Gronkowski, spent money like they do at Man United, but they are hailed because they have no room to do any discussions. So he employs a general manager, i.e., I don't fucking know the name to be honest, but i.e. like Ed Woodward would be a general manager for Man United. So he will make the decisions, he will make the player signings, he will do everything, but they will go through the owner and then they sign the players. So that's what the Glaziers are doing with Man United, is they've got Ed Woodward to do the signing and everything like that. And if he fucks up, he's gone. It's the same as the US. That general manager is the guy that is the owner, but the owner owns it. It's a complete weird fuckery around your head tower.
Right. So in turn, so you've got your closed shop in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Completely closed shop. So that is aiding in itself the manufacturing of sensationalism everywhere. So
I completely agree. That's why I feel like the journalists over here make more shitty headlines because they have no clue what actually is going on. If you knew what was going on and it was an open book, like the Miami Dolphins kicker, everyone knew how much he was getting before he signed it. He was on a radio show yesterday. Yesterday when he was on a radio show that I watch on YouTube in US. the Pat McAfee show, and he was on there saying, I saw reports that I'm apparently getting $22 million over the next 5 years. And then within 3 hours of that, him seeing that, he then got the contract in front of him to tell him. So it's there's more sources in the US that they will leak stuff a lot more, but there's always an agenda to that leak than there is in the UK.
The reason why it's now more of a closed shop in the UK is because they now have their own club media, right? They can. It's basically one big PR machine. I think at times it can be. So it's an absolute nightmare for Jonathan Lowe, Matt Joy, Courtney Friday, because on the one hand, you've got the club media that is a big PR machine because they're employed by the club and they want to kind of make sure that they keep the morale up and that sort of thing and put a positive spin on things. On the other hand, you've got the absolute nightmare of me and us at the Tyler's End and all that. And we're saying absolutely, we can say anything and we're only answerable to our audience. I called for Mark Bone to be sacked last summer, and the club, nor the club nor Jonathan Lowe could really do that. So he's got to compete. He's got to find somewhere in the middle between too positive and saying that Mark Bone should be given a 10-year extension and me saying that he should be sacked last summer. He's got to find somewhere in the middle. It's an absolute nightmare for Jonathan Lowe, for Matt Joy, for Courtney Friday. And I honestly, I don't envy their position at all. What is he laughing at?
I don't know. As soon as you said me at the Tyler's End, he's done something because my screen has flipped and it's annoying me.
I was looking up here to see what I could do up here, where you've got all the muting. I accidentally stopped my video. That's why I was laughing.
No. Oh no, Adam's in the wrong place now. Fuck off. Go down there. There you go. That's better. So right. Let's move on. Let's go on to, since we've last did the podcast, Reading have played 3 games. We played Brentford, Millwall, and Bristol City. Lost 3-1 to Brentford. Lost 2-1 to Millwall, and beat Bristol City 2-0 in that time. What have you both made over the previous 3 fixtures? What has been improved and what has gone downhill? And I want to squash very quickly one of the things that I've seen over the internet very, very fucking quickly. If I see someone else tweet that Raphael needs to be dropped, I will personally find you and I will drop kick you in the fucking face.
Who's the
to be honest, I mean, the thing for me, right, there's a difference between saying that, okay, so for me, for example, and I'm sure you'll be reasonable with this, in my...
Probably not, it's me.
Match preview, again, I think it was Brentford. No, was it against Brentford? No, it was against Millwall because he made a mistake against Brentford. I put in my match preview, I said I would put Southwood in this weekend because I think Raphael could do with the rest, and Raphael was a really safe pair of hands last season, but to give him that bit of a rest and to give Southwood a bit of a chance, and then phase Raphael back in at some point, in the next couple of games, right? I think there's a difference between that and saying that Raphael is absolute rubbish, sell him and all that. I don't agree with the latter point, and I think it's unreasonable to say, get rid of him, sell him, he's absolutely useless, because last season he was a safe pair of hands. But I think this season he's made a lot of mistakes, but when he has been solid, you've got to call a spade a spade. When he's been solid, you've got to say so. You've got to, even if you're one of your biggest critics, you've got to say he's had a solid game there. He's done very well. But when he's had a bad game, you don't go too much in on him, but you identify those mistakes.
Okay, so going from there, Raphael has in total played 74 games. This in total for Reading now. And he has kept 29 clean sheets.
Yep.
Right. I don't care what anyone says. If he keeps another 5 or 6 clean sheets, I think we spoke about this on the last podcast, or the one before. If he keeps, I think it's 5 now, 5 or 6 more clean sheets this season, he will break Marcus Hanneman's record for most clean sheets in a season. This season alone. So the criticism for him this season is a load of crap. If it wasn't an academy goalkeeper on the bench, if it was Sam Walker on the bench, would we be having the same discussion of let's put him on the pitch? No.
Not Sam Walker,
because he's an academy player, we have
would.
a thing at this club at our fan base as a thing that if one of the players that's not from the academy doesn't do well, our academy player could do like 30 million times better. Watch him, and it just wouldn't happen. So, in my opinion, I think all this talk for Raphael should be given, in my opinion, a lifetime contract. Put how many years you want on it. Put the number of wages you want on that, and that's how long you're staying here for. Because he's done for this club in the goalkeeping department is the best we have seen. But take Emi Martinez out of it because he was absolutely fucking epic. But take him out of it, he's the best we've had in I don't know how long.
Let me provide a response as a neutral, right? Last season, fantastic, dependent all the time. And he was a safe pair of hands and exactly what we needed. And exactly what we've needed. I can't remember who was the keeper before. Martinez, and we needed someone to fill his shoes, Martinez's shoes, right? And he did that completely well, and he was fantastic last season. And to get him on a free was an absolute masterstroke. Now, that was last season. This season, he's a strange case. He's absolutely fascinating, Raphael. In the box, I would say he's nothing short of world class. Some of the saves that he's made have been world class. Outside the box, he seems to struggle with some of the shots, which I'm not sure why. Maybe that's just one of his weaknesses, but I'm not sure why. And it's led him to make so we got Coventry away.
Can I just point out as well, last season, that was the most he's conceded. And it's the second most Reading have been conceded by a goalkeeper was last season.
It's strange, isn't it? Because he was different gravy.
Yeah, it's weird. If you look at it like that, it's weird.
Can I jump in with a different point?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you remember before the season, you asked something along the lines of who's going to have step up, who's going to have a better disappointing season?
Yeah.
One thing you said was about Swift. Obviously, he was linked heavily with Sheffield United in the summer. But one of the points I made about Swift is I didn't think he would stand out as much in a good team. Mm-hmm. Do you think Raphael isn't standing out as much because we're playing better football than we've seen in the last 10 years?
The 100% agree with that.
The one thing for me is, I'm not sure if it's that. I think it's the fact that you can look at games and you can see that I love Raphael. And he was fantastic last season, and he's absolutely world class from inside the box. So I have no agenda with Raphael or anything like that.
Love it.
Yeah, I do. Right. But this is the thing is, right, he's made about six mistakes. So he made a mistake against, so a couple of mistakes obviously is going to be inevitable. You know, no one's invincible. So you got Coventry away. There was a mistake. Stoke, although he did save a penalty actually against Preston, and fair play to him for that. But it was a poor penalty from Daniel Johnson. But we'll take that. He saved a penalty. Stoke at home, he made a really bad mistake. I can't lie to you.
Bournemouth away.
AFC Bournemouth away, he made a mistake. Brentford away and at home, he's made a mistake, costly mistakes. And also one against Luton as well at home. He made a mistake in the last minute, which obviously didn't prove to be too costly in the end. But those are 6 different occasions. And I'm not sure, but tell me if I'm wrong, but has there been another keeper, perhaps except for Manone and maybe another keeper in the last few years, that has made 6 clear mistakes?
Federici.
Jlow Virginia.
Federici.
Jlow Virginia, yeah. Jlow Virginia. Federici.
Fucking
he
shit.
prone to a mistake. I remember him making a mistake against.
Can't stand Federici.
He kicked the ball. He kicked the ball against Rob Earnshaw, and just Rob Earnshaw turned around and put it into the back of the net. Did Federici have 6 mistakes in him? He definitely had a few mistakes in him per season. He was prone to a mistake. I understand
right,
that.
So here we go. So this season, Raphael has made 30 appearances and has kept 13 clean sheets. The top is Marcus Hanneman, who played 45 and kept 22 clean sheets. He is 9 of keeping Marcus Hanneman above him. The other interesting fact is Marcus. The next one below Marcus Hanneman is Adam Federici, who played 46 and got 20 clean sheets. But games where they have conceded the most, Marcus Hanneman has conceded the most in the 07-08 Premier League season. He played 38 times, conceding 66. And in that list, last season, 7th is last season's Raphael, who played 44 times, kept 13 clean sheets, which is now equaled his last season's clean sheet record, and has conceded 53. And this season, he is way down the list of keepers with clean sheets. So that's why I tell everyone that with all the stats that you lot make about Raphael, all the drop-in is, if it wasn't for Luke Southwood on the bench, if it was a player that wasn't in our academy, we wouldn't be having a discussion about dropping Raphael. But because it is...
You have got a point.
But because it is someone from our academy, we have this thing as a fan base that we want every single player to come through our academy that's going to be in the next Michael Elite. And I'm the same as well. Yes. I want the next goalkeeper to come through that's the next Alex McCarthy. But who knows what's going to happen? In my opinion, we don't know. Let's go on about the 3 games. Let's get onto it. Brentford, Millwall and Bristol City. What was the big takes that you guys took from all of those 3 games? Ryan,
I'm going to sum it up in one word. I'd say unlucky.
I'm going to say...
On another day, we'd have got 9 points out of them.
One word? Sorry, right? One word?
I can't find it.
That's why he's not a journalist.
Yeah, that's why you're not a journalist.
Yeah, I can't. Who, me or Adam?
All the time. Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll have your mum. Don't worry.
Enjoy half term.
I'll enjoy half of half term, but I'll enjoy full of your mum, so it's fine. Didn't even make sense, but there we go. Let's get on to the games, right? So, did you finish, young man, or are you still going on?
I don't care about the games anymore now. Adam just won.
I just say what I said. We were unlucky, and on another time in the season, we'd have got 9 points out of them 3 games.
Right, for me. So Brentford, proud of the first half performance, unlucky in the end, but I think they showed, well, maybe they're not going to be automatic promotion contenders. They're not going to go up as automatic. Jesus. Also, go up automatically. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, that's a lovely emoji you got there, Brian. I think Brentford were just clinical in the second half. I was really proud of the first half performance from Reading. I thought we were different gravy. I thought we more than matched them, right? Millwall, we just got Millwalled, to be honest. We didn't play as well as we could have done. Millwall, we didn't play as well as we could have done, granted. I was quite upset after the game because of the referee didn't cost us the game. Millwall didn't cost us the game, but I just hated the style of play of Millwall and the referee.
Did you do the overreaction FC like all Reading fans did, saying that we wouldn't get playoffs or we wouldn't get promotion because of how shit we are?
I didn't actually say that. No,
but a number of twats did. I mean, Reading fans. Sorry, misuse of word. Sorry.
So, but I think, and I'll pick out another thing that I didn't like. I haven't liked over the past few games, but I guess it was game of opinions. Against Bristol City, professional. Against Millwall, we got Millwall. I was angry at first, not really at the team, but just at the whole situation. It's just a combination of factors. But I think from the Bristol City game, we've now kind of forgotten about Millwall. The one thing that I didn't like, and maybe this is me being a bit of a Nazi with kind of opinions, but
Jesus, Nazi would have been said on this podcast. Fucking hell.
Breaking. Adam is
maybe I was like this.
Adam is Hitler in disguise.
Hey, slander. Right, okay. So the one thing that I didn't like, and maybe I did this in previous seasons, and maybe I'm guilty of it. Maybe I've changed my mindset this season. But we're in 5th position, and people are like really upset about the team selections. I think for me, Pauno has the right to choose whoever he wants.
I'll give you a standing ovation because you're talking so much sense. You're literally... I completely agree with you. So ignore the elf trousers, but stand ovation.
So Mark Goldbridge made the same point with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he was top at the time, right? And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Man United were top at the time, and he said he has the choice to pick whoever he wants. And I think that applies with Paunovic because we're in 5th position right now, and I think he has the absolute authority to pick whoever he wants. And in the end, it's more than likely that those people, maybe including me in previous seasons, are going to be proved wrong. So I've completely changed my mindset this season. I've let Paunovic, well, obviously I let Paunovic, I can't go in the dressing room and say, no, you're not picking him. But I've just let things lie. And
I'd love to see you do that, by the way.
you're putting Holmes in. But yeah, I'm relaxed before the game. Even if I don't agree with even if I don't agree with the starting lineup, like I didn't agree with the starting lineup against Millwall because I thought it was too narrow. But I thought Paunovic, you're in 5th position. I'm not going to say very much. You can do whatever you want. And what? I can disagree. I can have a different opinion.
No, it's just something that Ryan just texted me, and I can't say it.
Okay, well, you're getting it after this podcast, Ryan.
That's what she said.
So.
But yeah, no, I agree with you, and that's one of the things I really hate Twitter at certain times is because of how stupid people can be on Twitter.
I kind of love it at the same time.
I like it at times. I find it entertaining at certain times. But sometimes it's like the Reading community, Twitter can be really dumb. Like the wrestling community is full of dumbasses, and the Reading community, it can be full of them, and that's the thing.
Speaking of dumbasses in the wrestling, speaking of dumbasses in the wrestling, there's a podcast on Robbos Gobcast on Tuesdays if you want to watch.
It's actually been getting quite good recently. Right, let's get into some stats and then let's get into our predictions. So this season, Lucas Jlow has now got 20 goals this season in the Premier League. The first time we've had a player do that since Shane Long in the 2010-2011 season. Yep. What?
You said he's got 20 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, I'm already thinking we're Premier League, so I don't care. 10 assists already this season for Lucas Jlow.
Just getting this is when predict 4 defeats in the next 6 games.
So this is when when I have a rant sometimes at overreaction Reading Football Club fans, right? And this is why I tell you guys to stop being twats and start listening, okay? In the 2011-2012 season, after 30 games, Reading won 15, drawn 6, lost 9, and were on 51 points. This season, after 30 games, we have won 15, drawn 6, lost 9, on 51 points, and we're 5th. And we were 6th when we got promoted that season. So with you guys, stop bumming yourselves and being all fucking stupid with your overreactions. Actually think at some point in your lives, all right?
No, I have to apologise, Mark, because I do bum myself, and I have to just apologise for that. But
no, I'll let you off, Adam. It's some of the little
you definitely look like the kind of bloke that bums himself.
You can't say anything with that haircut. Look at that. I don't know why he's even piping up for. Look at him. He's like Justin Timberlake.
What, before or after Brittany? We got to be careful with this.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no comment.
No,
to be fair,
I'm not saying nothing.
You was the one that made me shave my head so you could put me in one of your camps.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, moving on. Moving on. The fixtures coming up. The form table, Reading currently 12th. In the previous 6 fixtures, 1-2, drawn 2, lost 2. We have a +1 goal difference. Middlesbrough coming up, who's currently 20th. Played 6, 1-1, drawn 1, lost 4, with a -7 goal difference. Going over the predictions that we did last time. For fuck's sake, here we go. So, in total, Josh got 2 points. In total, I'm going in reverse order, by the way. I got 2 points. 2 points in UK. I felt like a Eurovision here. Ryan, second place was Ryan with 3 points. Adam has won again for the second month in a row. For fuck's sake. He got 5 points.
I'm refusing to do predictions from now on.
Yeah, little salty little. Oh, shut your mouth, mate.
Oh, is this another one? Are you going to try and lock me up somewhere because I disagree with your opinion?
Jesus.
It's not an opinion. It's straight fact. It's protocol, right, young man? Look at the situation in the previous set of predictions, right? So, Millwall away, I predicted a 0-0. Okay, I stuck with that prediction for the Robbos predictions. Okay, I hold my hands up, and I stuck with my predictions, and I said even though I predicted a 1-1, we'll go with the original results, right? That has to be consistent. Okay, I predicted a 1-1 in the Tilehurst End match preview, and that game would have taken me.
Do you want to know one
victory
key difference?
Quite comfortably.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I know exactly
one key
what Ryan is
difference
about
here.
to say.
I completely changed my outcome of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I went from 3-3 to 3-1.
You did.
And
So-
what? And what? Shut
So-
up. Suck your mother.
No. So in your
No,
situation,
I told you this. When you
in your
done
situation,
listen, I
in
said
your
this-
situation that you're on about, Adam, you said that regardless, it was going to be a draw. So if it would have been 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, 6-2, whatever, you'd have still got a point. Whereas if I
No, he wouldn't have.
No,
No, he wouldn't have. Because he
got
predicted on the Tilehurst End, but he stayed the prediction on here. I don't ever change anyone's predictions once they've said it on here, on that prediction table. It's once you've said it on here, it stays.
I would have got higher if.
So he
I would have
predicted
changed it.
on here. He predicted a 2-1 Reading win
No,
on our predictions
This
against
is Millwall
Millwall.
away. This is Millwall away in the previous set of predictions, right?
Oh,
Which you
okay. I
probably
can't remember that one.
Right. So I predicted a 0-0. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure in that one, and then I put 1-1 for Tilehurst End, right? But I didn't change my prediction. I stuck with this one.
The reason
because...
why Adam won was because of his 0-0 draw that he predicted against Preston. He got 3 points.
And that alone, he should be deducted points.
Why? Because he predicted 0-0.
For being a wanker.
Right. So the fixtures we're going to be discussing now, and we're all going to be doing our prediction for. Josh will be sending his predictions to myself later on today or tomorrow. When I speak to him, he will be sending his predictions over to me. But the predictions we are discussing are the next 6 fixtures. We got Middlesbrough at home, Wickham away, Rotherham away, Blackburn at home. Oh, wait, hold on. I've got to say the full name. Blackburn Rovers.
No, I don't care about that. It's like people...
Oh, okay. So the next one, fine. So Reading versus Sheffield.
Do you want to know how moist Ryan is right now?
He does this all the time. Reading versus Sheffield Wednesday. I'll do it for you lot. And Reading versus at home, and then we're playing Nottingham Forest away, which will be the last fixture. And then after that game, we will have Adam back on and discuss a little bit more about those fixtures. Who wins the next month going into April? Whoever wins. If you win next month, you've won it overall.
I don't mind. I'm just happy to take part.
If, by the way, I wait for Ryan to. Oh, where the fuck is he?
That's what I was laughing at.
If you guys can't see it, and I don't think you'll be able to see it because I think it takes it out of the recording. Ryan has come back and has renamed himself Adam the Nightmare Jones. It sounds like a really shit wrestler that you get at Butlins.
That's KSI's nickname for his boxing.
Oh, dear fucking God. We're Reading, as I was saying before Ryan left, Reading at home against Sheffield Wednesday, and then Reading away at Nottingham Forest to finish off with going forward. As I've said, these guys don't know I'm doing this at all. If Adam wins another one, which will make him the overall winner of this last 6 months, okay, Adam has to pick one person out of me, Ryan, and Josh to do a forfeit.
I wonder who he's going to
I'm looking at you right now.
So the forfeit is what we do with all the other shows, is you have to do a 5-minute video of why that person is the greatest of all time. I've had to do it on the wrestling podcast where I said Gulam was the greatest of all time. I had to do it against Josh on the F1's F1 2020 end of season. I had to do one against him. Me and Ellie had to do a video, which will be out very soon. I just need her to send it over to me, where we will be doing a video explaining why Josh is the best of all time, and we will upload that onto YouTube. So if Adam wins one more, or whoever, if someone comes and sneaks in at the end, whoever wins has to pick someone to make a video about that person explaining why they are the greatest of all time.
Why don't we do something instead for charity, like run 5K and then
no, because that's exercise, and I ain't gonna fucking.
Mark's like, fuck the charity.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Kay. You're not getting any money because this man over here.
Well, I'm not getting any money anyway. I do all this for fucking free. Thank you. If I was like KSI, happily. If I was earning the money he was, happily. Unfortunately, I am jobless and broke. So,
sorry to all the cancer patients out there, by the way.
Adam, why don't you just, like, when you win, because I'm telling you now, I'm not taking these predictions seriously. I'm going to predict us to lose all but 2 games. Just
you don't predict sensibly anyway. You predict us to win all of our games.
Yeah, so I'm going to be really fucking negative like you, and say we're going to lose every game. But what?
Sorry, this negativity won me the last 2 rounds. You donut.
To be fair,
well, to be fair, you didn't win the last round, did you?
To be fair, shut your mouth, man.
This is epic. I love this. So if Adam wins, he gets to choose. If Ryan wins, if he comes back and wins the next, because there's 3 months left of the
Let
season.
him choose the forfeit instead, rather than a video, because then he could just say, yeah, just give fucking 50 quid to a charity or something.
No, I could do that. But then I can't get on there, but I want more content for my channel. So I'm thinking more selfish. Not going to lie.
Yeah,
not gonna
fair
lie.
enough. It's your podcast.
I want more content.
Podcast,
It also gives me so
want.
I don't have to record that day. I could just upload that. That's it. That's all I'm thinking. So that's the forfeit. Right, let's go. Josh will do his later. So I've got all the fixtures here. I've got Adam and Ryan and myself up here. I'm going to go first. So the Borough game, I am predicting a 2-0 win.
2-0 loss.
Right, I'm not doing this if you're going to be a dick. You've got to do it properly. Come on.
God, he's so moist. I've never seen such a moist young man.
Such a wet wipe.
Yeah, he's a wet wipe, yeah.
This podcast is just fucking crazy, bro.
Put your Pampers on.
All right, so
3-0 Reading.
So Ryan has gone for a 3-0 win. Adam?
1-0 win.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, Ryan, I'm going to go to you. Wickham away.
0-0.
Are you actually going for that?
No, I'll go 1-0.
Okay. Adam?
2-0 win.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to go for... It's against Gareth McCleary and Jordan the Beater. I'm looking forward to seeing Jordan the Beater. So I'm predicting a 3-0 win. Don't rate Wickham at all. Adam, I'm going to go to you. Rotherham away.
1-1 draw for me.
Love it. I don't even have to look, and I can see Ryan's face. I don't even have to look. Ryan.
Rotherham away.
Yeah.
3-0 win.
Okay. I'm going to go for 2-1 win. Rovers, I'm going to go first. I think it's going to be Jesus. 2-1 win.
It's going to be Jesus. Is he going to come back? Yeah.
I hope so. Ryan.
Blackburn at home.
Christ, that was terrible banter. Oh, God. Okay, I'm back.
This podcast has just gone warm the whole way through it. Go on then.
2-0 win.
Good lad. The worst thing is I predicted us. Adam's gone for a win and 2 draws so far. Rovers at home.
No, this is the only thing that I can see us tripping up on. And I'm going to go with a 2-1 loss, but this is the only loss I'm going to predict of this set of games. To be fair, it's only 5 games, but it's the only loss I'm going to predict.
For the rest of the season?
No, not... Well, it's probably the last...
Of course not. You're so negative.
The last loss that you predict for the rest of the season, matey.
I've not predicted a loss yet.
I haven't either. Ryan, I go to you.
For what?
Sheffield Wednesday at home.
Shit house 1-0 win.
I love it how you have to put shit house.
Who's their manager now? I can't remember who their manager is.
Someone we don't give a shit about.
Ryan.
I don't.
Anyone sensible that is going to tell me who their manager is?
I don't know.
Ryan. It's pretty much an oxymoron. Ryan and someone sensible, but we'll take it.
Ooh, long words on the podcast. Ooh.
He's getting it tenfold for all the rubbish that you gave me in previous podcasts.
He's feeling like a big man because he's got a week off school.
A week off school, yeah.
He's on his half term.
He's on half term.
You know all about half terms, Ryan. Anyway.
Yeah, they've not got a new manager yet.
Really? 2-0
Sheffield
win.
Wednesday at home, Adam. I'll go to you.
2-0 win for me. 2-0 win, yeah.
That's the second win he's predicted. I also went for a 2-0 win before we did all of this. So Forest away, I am predicting a 1-1 draw.
The only result that I differed actually from this is one that the digs that you gave me in the previous podcast, so I'm going to come here to defend myself. So basically, you said to me about the change in predictions in the Tyler Stem preview, right? Over those past games, if I'm not mistaken, I only predicted one game different, and that's because I thought I put a 2-0 win against Coventry, but it was a 3-1 win that I put. Still the same margin, but there you go.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
It's how he has to defend himself, where he feels like he needs.
I'm just coming here to defend myself. That's all I'm doing, because you keep on giving me absolute waffle.
Don't give us reason to give you shit.
Yeah.
Right, Ryan went for 2-2. Adam.
Oh, Nottingham Forest away, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
I completely guessed that. 1-1. I think it's a guaranteed 1-1. Then, to be fair, my predictions, it'll probably be a 4-0 win, but, there you go.
So I've predicted us to get 19 points. For fuck's sake. Ryan has predicted us to get 3, 6, 9, 11 points. And Adam...
How have you predicted 19 and I've done...
Because hold on, 3, 6...
Wait. No,
9, 12.
There's only 15 points up for grabs.
Oh, yes. Yeah, my bad. My maths is shit. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 16 points, I predicted.
No, we've only got...
It is fucking 16!
Is it not 5 games?
No, it's 6!
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah!
Wait, should we actually do... Because
I'm going to calculate this. You lot are fucking making my brain hurt.
No, because we... So I thought it was 5 games. Right, 1 second. What I was going to say is... What the
fuck?
It's almost like it's my podcast. I forgot what I was going to say. No, so basically...
that shitty Tyler
we missed
said
out the Bristol City game. I don't know what you were saying. It was probably like a slur or something, or a smear. So... There's only a limited amount of games to go until the end of the season because we missed out the Bristol City game. So would it be more sensible to just do 5 at a time
No,
Have a look at how many fixtures there are
I don't
within the
care.
season.
We're doing it by how many games I want to do it. And we did 6 last time, so I'm doing 6 again.
Yeah,
we only have like 3 picks at the end of the season.
That's fine by me.
But then
It gets me less to do on the graphics.
Then we've got to predict playoffs.
No, okay.
You know what I'm going to say? Anything could happen right now. I'm absolutely. Anything could happen, and
No.
We've got 16 games left.
Yeah, anything could happen. I'm excited.
So here we go. Right, shut up, pair of you. So I have predicted us to get 16 points in this fixtures. Ryan has predicted 14, and Adam has predicted 9. Us to get 9 points over the next 6 games.
No, did I?
Yes.
Hang on. Wickham win.
No, you went for. Oh yeah, shit. No, my bad. Yeah. I wrote the thing.
Middlesbrough win.
Yeah. My bad.
Rotherham draw.
Yep.
All right. So Ryan's gone for. Okay. So Adam has now gone for 12 points. That was my fault. 3, 6, 9.
Sort it out. Absolutely.
No, I'm trying to do maths really fucking quickly, and I'm really shit at it. I didn't do very well at school. You could probably tell that. 8 times 3 plus 1.
8 times 3.
So 10. 1, 2, 3. So
wait,
Adam,
what?
I'm still not convinced.
11. You went for 11 points.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
right.
You went for 11 points. So, and again, I recap. So this is how the fixtures we think are going. I predicted a 2-0 win against Borough, a 3-0 win against Wickham, a 2-1 win against Rotherham, a 2-1 win against Rovers, a 2-0 win against Wednesday, and a 1-1 draw, which goes to 16. Ryan has gone for a 3-0 win against Borough, a 1-1 draw against Wickham, a 3-0 win against Rotherham, a 2-0 win against Rovers, a 1-0 win against Wednesday, and a 2-2 draw against Forest, which makes 14, according to Mike. If I'm wrong, please put in the comments down below. Adam has gone for a 1-0 win against Borough, a 2-0 win against Wickham, a 1-1 draw against Rotherham, a 2-1 loss against Rovers, a 2-0 win against Wednesday, and a 1-1 draw against Forest.
11.
Yeah, so that's who we go for. We will get Josh's that on over the next few days as well to go and send him over to me, and we will add that in. And the graphic will be out for you on Saturday around about 1-2 o'clock, just before the fixtures and the team news comes out. And we want to see your predictions as well moving forward. But that's it. Thank you both.
Hang on a second. One more thing. One more thing. Ryan, when is he going to come back on the Instagram Live? When is Ryan going to come back on Instagram Live? I've been going solo and with David, who's been a fantastic servant over the past, a servant to the podcast, not a servant to me. But
at the moment, I've been working 6 days a week. So I've been working Saturdays and I've not been home in time to watch the game.
Funny how he can pipe up on the group chat, though.
What?
You've piped up on the group chat many, many times, young man.
When?
Throughout the games.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, Millwall...
I've just seen a notification here. Bowen was awful. 3 laughing faces.
Millwall at the weekend, I got away early and watched it. But then, like, midweek games, when it's 8, like, finishes at sort of, like, 9:45, I don't really fancy sitting around for an hour and not being able to go to bed because I've got to be up before 5:30 in the morning.
Well, that's fine, Grandad, but it's a dereliction of duty, so...
Right, I'll end it there before we get any more insults thrown. Thank you guys ever so much.
Tell Ryan you miss him without telling him you miss him.
Hashtag Ryan is missed. We will see you guys on Monday, where we will be reviewing the Borough game and building up to the Wickham game. I presume that's midweek. And if not, we will see you guys very, very soon. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.